Welcome back to another episode of 360 Sports. We got some basketball for you today. I'm your host, Ethan. We got Alec, Fernando, and Owen here. We're going to start off by talking about the NCAA. The first four games, some of the first four games were yesterday. Alabama State beating St. Francis, and we also got UNC absolutely destroying San Diego State. What are your guys' thoughts?
I want to start talking about the UNC game. I owe the selection committee a huge apology because I was one of those people who criticized them for choosing North Carolina. But yesterday, they looked like a team that played with a huge chip on their shoulder, and they demonstrated the entire country why they deserve to make it. They absolutely dominated San Diego State, and I'm going to say it right now, I think they make it to at least the Sweet 16.
Yeah, they definitely dominated San Diego State. They were 14 of 24 from 3, 58% shooting from three. RJ Davis went off this game. He's been inconsistent all year, but in March, he showed that he can rise up to the occasion and prove everyone wrong that was doubting UNC. A lot of collective effort by that team. They dominated the Aztecs.
Yeah.
I mean, UNC is a team that goes far practically almost every year, it feels like. They're just really well coached. They always have a good team. They always bring back seniors and juniors that always play really well. And also, they've had a really hard strength of schedule. I mean, that first game against Duke, I believe a week and a half ago, it was super close. I mean, they were up 1 point in that second half as well, and they had a really close loss at Duke. Again, they've had a really high strength of schedule. And in that first round, when you're looking at Ole Miss, they've been kind of wishy-washy in the SEC so far. I mean, they lost to Florida. I believe they just lost to Auburn in their last game too. So they're struggling, so I could definitely see UNC getting the minor upset, if you want to call it that, just based off seeding. Mm-hmm. But I think they definitely take that first round.
I mean, I think a lot of people just thought UNC shouldn't make it because of their record, but you're right. They played a lot of good teams. I also want to point out here, San Diego State had like the lowest opponent field goal percentage, 37.8%. Obviously, that did not matter to UNC. Like you mentioned, RJ Davis, 6 for 6 from three. Like they showed why they deserve to be there, and I wouldn't be surprised if they won one or two more games.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the better ending game, at least. Alabama State beating St. Francis on a like full court pass. Like six people touch the ball. Amar Knox comes up with it, puts up the layup for the win. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, it was their best player. Amar Knox is their best player, and he converted on a layup. I don't know how it got to him, but he was able to put the shot up with 0.7 seconds left. It was a miracle, and that's what March is all about.
I couldn't agree more. This is what March is about. It's about fairy tales, miracles, and the Cinderella stories, and that was the perfect start to it. And it's going to shows the potential that the tournament's going to have.
Yeah, not that the stakes were the same, but this game felt very reminiscent, at least at the end, to when the Chicago Bears completely blew it against the Commanders at the very end during the middle of the NFL season. I mean, like, literally just the same thing. St. Francis played an awesome game, came down to the wire. It's unfortunate that the season ends like this, but also they're like a borderline 500 team, and I don't think Alabama State's going to have too much success against Auburn because they have a team stacked full of 25-year-olds, but what can you do?
Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, there's no chance. There's no chance Alabama State
I was looking
beats
before
Auburn.
this. They were minus 32 favorites, I believe, on the books.
I mean,
Jesus.
At least Alabama got their win. Alabama State, I should say. There's actual Alabama.
The question is, the question now is, do they make it close, which is like 20 points close?
I don't know about that.
No, they're gonna get crushed.
Yeah, most likely.
FU won a couple years ago against Purdue. Anything's possible.
Anything
Yeah,
is possible.
Purdue is also
in March,
Purdue, so I don't have a lot of faith in them.
Yeah, me neither.
Anyway, we are going to go back to the NBA now. We're going to talk about the Warriors. 15-2 since the Jimmy Butler trade. Obviously, so much drama just about Butler in general. And he went to the Warriors. It's working out for them. Curry's playing amazing. He just passed 4K threes all time. How far do you think this Warriors team can go?
I think it has the potential to go to the Western Conference Finals. I mean, look, I understand in this 15-2 run they're going at, that most of their wins have been against losing records, and they beat the Pistons, the Knicks without Jalen Brunson, and now the Bucks. But you can't deny how much firepower they have offensively. Mm-hmm. It looks like Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry have great chemistry. Draymond Green still has it in him, and then also Steve Kerr is still proving why he's one of the best coaches in the NBA. So I do think this team has all the ingredients to contend for a championship, but I still favor the Thunder, the Nuggets, and the Lakers over them.
Well, yeah, just going off your point with the Nuggets, right now, if the playoffs were to happen right now today, the Warriors would be matched up with the Denver Nuggets. So if that's the case, they're done the first round. Jokic is literally a nightmare matchup for this team. Westbrook's playing great. Jamal Murray will most likely be coming back. Christian Braun's having an incredible year as well. He's kind of trying to mold into that MPJ role, but with a little bit more passing, believe it or not. But let's just say the Rockets somehow go down to the 3 seed. Right now, they're tied with the Nuggets. I think they beat them in the first round. The Warriors beat the Rockets. I mean, Ime Udoka is now the coach for the Rockets. They've lost. When he was the coach of the Celtics, lost them in the finals. So there's a little bit of history there. Curry's playing great basketball. I think he would completely dominate a Fred VanVleet if he was guarding him, an Amen Thompson, or even a Dylan Brooks, if Dylan Brooks can even considered a good defender anymore. LeBron protected him a few years ago. But then let's say they get past that first round. Second round, Nuggets are now the 2 seed going against either like the Nuggets, or not the Nuggets, the Timberwolves or the Clippers. Nuggets probably come out of that one. And then you're in the same situation again. Warriors not looking great against the Nuggets. They just have the much better team. I think they favor that matchup a bunch. So my prediction is probably first or second round for the Warriors, but still awesome to see that Curry has a new teammate in Jimmy Butler, who's playing incredible, by the way.
Yeah, I'm glad it's working out. They definitely have a chance of making a deep run into the playoffs. Like you said again, the Western Conference is very jumbled up right now. The 2 seed and the 6 seed are like 3 games apart. So a lot can change in a matter of 15.
Even the play-in teams, too.
Yeah.
In a matter of 15 games to the end of the season, a lot can change, and that'll be dependent for the Warriors on whether they can make a run in this playoffs.
Yeah, their success is totally based off the seeding above them. Like you said, I don't think they have a singular chance against the Nuggets if they end up playing them, but they could get lucky, not have to play the Nuggets. Somehow they get dropped off. You never know what could happen. I do think they're contenders. However, if they have to play one of these better teams earlier on.
Look, I understand we're like saying the Nuggets beat the Warriors, but I mean the Nuggets, in my opinion, have been very inconsistent this year. They lost twice to the Wizards.
You're right. I forgot about that.
Well, Alex, our legacy game. I mean, he had like 35
They
points
almost
getting
lost to the
high.
Lakers, who didn't have, who had Bronny James playing for like 20 minutes, and like the only star that was playing was Austin Reeves. So like this team, you can't trust the Nuggets right now, to be honest with you.
The only thing about the Nuggets just match up against the Warriors so well, and like the Nuggets just beat them without Jokic, and like with the hot streak that Curry and Butler are on, they still beat them without their best player.
I mean, think about it. In the playoffs, it would be either Draymond Green or Quentin Post guarding Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, but
I saw a stat.
Yes, but aren't teams entitled to bad losses? I mean, we've seen the Lakers lose to the Hornets and the Jazz.
Now we saw the Warriors lose to the couple days ago. Yeah.
So like, I understand that was a bad loss, but like, I mean, you're entitled to one of them at the least.
But by the same terms, can't you say the Nuggets lost the Wizards is also like they're entitled to that? Like it's just basketball. You can in a best of 7 series, 90% of the time, the better team is just gonna win.
Yeah, Draymond, Jimmy, they actually have the best defensive rating as a duo since the Jimmy Butler trade. If the Warriors get playoff Jimmy, if they get playoff Curry, they definitely are dangerous for any
Game
team.
7 playoff Draymond.
Yeah.
30-point, almost triple-double against the Cavs in Game 7. Could happen.
Yeah.
Not if you shoot over 5, though, against the Bucks.
You can never count out the Warriors, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Warriors and Lakers are just always going to be one of those teams that's in it somehow.
Yeah.
Well, just because of playoff experience.
Yeah, basically. And Curry and LeBron. But we're going to move on. With all the drama about March Madness, we are going to debate what do you guys think is the worst NBA player right now that you could stick onto a 16 seed and be able to carry them to a natty? So, Alec, you're going to be up first for this one. I was told yours was good.
Well, I mean,
Actually, I
not
heard
to
everyone's
toot
is
my
good,
own horn, but I think I have the worst best player that you could possibly have on a 16 seed for March Madness. Let's say some NBA player hops on Alabama State. They want to take him to the promised land over Auburn and even go even further in the tournament. Give me my guy, former Celtic, Kelly Olynyk. Definition of probably the worst best player that could do this. I mean, first of all, aura, man. Flow, looks incredible. He wore a hat at his wedding. I mean, what a guy. But also, looking at what he can do on the basketball court. Everything. The man can do everything at a high role-playing level. He averages over 10 points a game for the Pelicans. That's his brand new team. So far on the season, he's averaging over 40% from the three-point line. And that's when he extended NBA range too. Coming to college, it's a little bit shorter. He's going to let that thing fly all the time. I mean, Lonzo Ball looks like the next Steph Curry when he was in college at UCLA. so it's not that far out of the picture. But also, this is a man that can put the ball on the ground. He can dish it out too. He had 4 assists in his last game as well, so he's capable of doing that. Also capable of coming up in big games. Looking back at 2017 and that big win that the Celtics had over the Washington Wizards in the conference semifinals, he dropped 26 points off the bench, came in for Amir Johnson, and absolutely dominated. They had no answer for him whatsoever. Marcin Gortat looked like an absolute bum against him. And I think Kelly Oubre, given his size and very smaller size in college, he would dominate. And if you're worried about his defensive capabilities, Karl Anthony Towns was considered a defensive prospect coming out in the draft. And now look at him in the NBA. He's like an average defending center. So if that's what Kelly Oubre or Kelly Olynyk has to do, I think he could take a 16 seed very far in the NCAA tournament.
Okay, first of all,
Very interesting pick.
how did you have all of that memorized with no notes? You just had that ready.
It's a love for the game, Ethan.
That's
Also,
a
former
crazy
Celtic
pick.
too. I mean, I've been following him his entire career. I mean, with the Raptors, I thought he was going to be an awesome pick. I thought maybe the Raptors with Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett, they can make a couple things happen. Kelly could be a good center that comes off the bench for Jakob Poeltl. I mean, they do 2 different things. He's more of a shooter. Jakob's a traditional big, but obviously it didn't work. But don't be surprised. You see Kelly Olynyk next year at the ripe age of 35 going to do some big things for a team because he can still do everything on the court.
I don't think he's the same player as he was in 2017.
Then you're not watching Pelicans games. He's a great watch
I don't
still.
hate the pick, but he's 35.
Yeah.
He's 34.
34, sorry.
Wouldn't that give him a better advantage against those 25-year-olds at Auburn?
I mean,
I don't recall-
25 and 34
I
are
don't-
still different.
I don't recall a game this season where I've heard the name Kelly Olynyk. So
It's been a good minute since I heard Kelly Olynyk, but I don't like
I mean, it's the
hate
Pelicans.
the pick.
They're not getting that much traction in the media.
No, I don't hate the pick. I just questionable, but
yeah, but I mean, let's hear everybody.
6'10", can practically shoot over everyone. You got to think about it, too. If guys are closing him out, he's a 40% shooter against NBA defenders. Put some sorry college defender on him, Coke, butter, cheese.
Okay.
all right.
I mean, bigs do make a lot of headlines in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right, Owen, you're up.
Yeah, I'm on way different wavelength than you, Alec. I'm sorry to say that. I got Victor Wembanyama. I just think that the college game is, as a 16 seed, you're facing some of the best competition in college, and the gap between a bad college team, the worst college team in the tournament, and the best college team in the tournament is by far a lot more than the worst NBA team and the best NBA team. You're looking at guys that have great two-way ability. Victor Wembanyama is that, and I think that's the kind of fit you need in March. You need guys that can play on both sides of the ball, and I just don't see a lot of guys that can carry a 16 seed. You have teammates on that 16 seed team that are unreliable, and you're basically relying on one player. There's a lot of fatigue in March Madness, and that one player is getting double teamed a lot. Victor Wembanyama would be getting triple teamed probably. So I just don't see a lot of NBA stars. There's only a handful that can carry that load, and I just think we're on totally different wavelengths.
I mean, like, it's not a bad pick. I'm not going to tell you that Victor Wembanyama can be a 16 seed.
Yeah.
It is very difficult to find a player, like you said, that could actually carry a 16 seed because it's not very realistic. But if one man can do it, it's going to be Wemby.
It would have been interesting to see this guy play in an NCAA tournament.
Yeah, it definitely would have been.
I'm upset that we didn't get to see that. Like, now that you pick him, I never really thought about it, but yeah, we never got to see him in it.
I mean, he's a true freak of nature. I mean, he would have gone against Zach 82. That could have made for great television as well.
Yeah.
Finally humbled him. All right, Fernando, you're up.
Well, rumor is apparently I made the best selection, and I'm going to impress all of you guys. Give me Julius Randle. Listen, this guy in Kentucky, he was a stud as a freshman. In one season, he led the number 8 seed Kentucky to the national championship before he lost to UConn. And in that one season, he averaged a double-double with 15 points and 10 rebounds. That's how good the guy was. And think about it. Look, I've never been a fan of this guy. This guy shows up in the regular season, but in the playoffs, he just doesn't show up. But also, right now, this guy has been playing much better since he came back from that injury with the Wolves. He's proving why he's proving to the Wolves why he's that player that they wanted. But you put that if he can lead an 8 seed to a national championship, can you imagine him on an 16 seed with the right pieces? The sky's the limit with him. So for that reason, give me Julius Randle. I
mean, yeah, he could play big man. He could play the 4. If you even have a big college lineup, he could play the 3. I think he's such an awesome option too. You can also bring him the ball. He's been a ball handler his entire career. I mean, with the Knicks back in 2021, he was their entire offense. It seemed like almost every time he took a mid-range shot, it went in. Since then, don't really know what happened. But no, I think it's an awesome pick.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing you said, it doesn't show up in the playoffs. You know what is just the playoffs, the entirety of March Madness.
Yeah, but like college and
I know
NBA
it's different.
Yeah, but
way
it's
different.
I know it's different.
And I
but
told you, and I said it in the NCAA tournament that he played. He led an 8
He
seed
did,
to an NCAA.
Yeah.
he did. But
And that's when he couldn't even shoot.
yeah.
He was a pure post player.
No, I do agree with you. I agree with Wells. That is a very good pick. When I was trying to think of a player, he didn't even cross my mind. But I do he could 100% lead Alabama State right now.
And he's a guy that we've debated whether he is a star or just a solid role player.
Yeah.
So I just think he was a great pick.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like a below slight all-star.
Yeah. He can be there, depending on how he wants to play. All right. So when I'm thinking of recent years and upsets that have happened, I'm thinking of Doug Edert. I'm thinking of Golke last year. Think of the shooters that have been able to just take over the game. I got Grayson Allen as my player. I hate the guy. I don't think he's that good. But I'm saying this is a guy that lives off of just hot streaks and that's all he lives off of. He could go 30 for 5 games in a row and then get 3 the next 5. So I just think if he gets hot in the right times in March, he will be able to just cook any NCAA team. He would be able to lead the most upsets as a 16 seed. Again, I don't think he's that good of a player. That's why I have him here. But if he gets hot in March, I think that he could lead a team.
He is a great shooter, I'll say that.
Yeah.
But the drama there is with that guy, I just don't think I would be able to stand it.
That's the thing that he's a personality. So that would make some people like him, some people not. He would be popular if he did it.
Who can forget the infamous tripping scene with him?
Yeah, but I don't know. I just think he has the personality to get himself out there. He has the shooting ability if he gets hot at the right time. Think of I'm thinking especially of Golke. That guy isn't a great player. He's on the
I think he's on the G League.
Yeah, he's in the G League somewhere. But it's he made how many threes that one game last year? And he has shot 1-2 all year. And he makes all those threes in the one game and led to an upset. If Grayson Allen can catch that hot streak, he could do that with a 16
I feel like Grayson
seed.
Allen would get ejected or something.
Oh, he will.
Yeah, I'd be worried about that too.
Well, that's the thing. He scores 40 or he gets ejected and they lose.
Yeah, exactly. He's that boom or bust guy.
Yeah.
If we're thinking of could happen, this is my
only
guy.
worry with the Grayson Allen pick is he's a little bit shorter than a couple of the guys we went. I mean,
You're right.
Julius Randle's 6'8", Wemby's 7'5".
Yeah, well,
not a bad pick. But my only worry with Grayson Allen is the rebounding might not be there for a team that's a little smaller. I mean, those 16 seeds just aren't going to have the drastic big man that the 1 seeds have.
That's definitely correct, and that is a worry with him, obviously, but.
Same thing. I think he's over 40% this year as well. Same with Kelly Olynyk. But no,
Kenny Olynyk out of here.
It's a shortened 3-point line. He would just let it fly. He could shoot 12, 13 threes and make 11 of them.
Yep. And if the 16 seed actually wants to play defense, then that might lead to a win.
He's a good defender too.
Yeah. That's the point. Anyway, we are going to move on. We're going to be playing some Imposter. Oh, that's Among Us. Some Imposter. We're going to get some prompts on the board, and we got a couple players to choose from. We got to pick out the imposter from that group. So, which player has not scored 25,000 points?
I think it might be Allen Iverson. I think he's had the shortest career out of all of them. You got to think about it. Paul Pierce, he played for a while in Atlanta and Washington.
Yeah.
Dominic Wilkins also played for the Clippers and Celtics later down the line. Reggie Miller was in the league for forever.
Yeah, that's I was thinking Reggie Miller, but he's
Reggie
played for a
so
while.
long.
I think he played for 16 years.
I say Reggie because if you look at Curry, when the amount of points he scored in his career, it's not as many as you think. James Harden has more points. Kevin Durant has more points. Those guys have more points than him, even though he has the record for most 3-pointers in the entire in his entire life. So
Yeah, I'm thinking Reggie or Allen.
I would say Reggie.
Give me Iverson.
Okay.
I say Reggie.
We can go Reggie for this one.
All right.
Okay.
Oh,
So Alec
Knows
with 1
ball.
point.
Yep.
good job.
I wonder how many
for that
wins he has
long.
now.
Yeah, think about it. He had
Yeah.
a couple good runs with the Sixers and the Nuggets. Then
Yeah.
after that,
Who is he
fell off
averaging
super hard.
per game this season?
It better not be Bam. That would be
Vucevic,
embarrassing.
Vucevic and Bam, I know for a fact. All right.
Okay, well
10
that
rebounds
helps.
Is it
per game.
Sengun?
I don't think it's Jalen Duran.
I don't think it's Jalen Durant
I think it
either.
might be Sengun. I think he might be averaging like 19 and 9 or something like
I think
Yeah, that
Duran's
would
like
make
slightly
sense.
under 10.
that. Slightly under 10. I don't know.
It's either him or Bam, because I mean,
say
Bam's playing the 4 now.
You know what? I say Sengun. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say Sengun. I'm gonna pull your card and go with against everybody else.
I'm gonna go Sengun.
Yeah, I like the Sengun pick.
Oh, why?
It was Bam.
Okay, are you serious?
9.9.
That's embarrassing from the
Well,
onomatopoeia.
he's a power forward
Yeah.
now.
Oh my.
Still,
I didn't know we were
Him
going
and
that
Khalil-
far.
him and Khalil Ware.
that is embarrassing from the onomatopoeia.
But yeah,
Especially,
9.9.
especially now that Jimmy Butler's gone. How are
Yeah,
you
it's-
having 10 rebounds?
And it's so close too. I know Wells picked that on purpose, just because of the 9.9. But
yeah.
Twitter does not have at least 10 All-Star selections.
I know Anthony Davis does.
Okay.
I think it's the same thing Chris Bosh. I
I
mean,
think Chris Bosh.
he had a
Chris
shortened
Bo-
career.
Yeah, Chris
Bosh.
Bosh.
Probably Chris
Yeah.
Bosh.
Unless in his career he went, 10 for 12 on All-Stars? That's super impressive.
Yeah.
Because he was done in 2016, I think.
Yeah.
I would say.
I'm thinking Bosh.
Yeah, I think
Bosh.
Bosh too.
It's Vince Carter.
Really?
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Guess he wasn't that good enough for the Nets and Raptors.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I guess. Wow.
We didn't.
Right.
We did not. You
That was
did
a good one,
anyway.
Wells. Good
Yeah,
job.
Gonna move to another one. Keep 3, cut 5. We're gonna get shown some players. We got to decide whether we want to keep them or cut them. Well, we don't know who's coming up next. We only get to keep 3, and I'm really scared for what Wells did with this
Oh,
one.
God, I have a bad feeling.
Yeah. So.
Good.
I'm
I'm cutting.
I'm cutting right now.
Yeah. Jalen Green's
He's
got to
way
go.
too inconsistent.
Yeah,
I
too.
know he's on like
No.
a little hot streak the last couple months, but he's been inconsistent his entire career.
Yeah, and I have a feeling there are going to be better players coming
Yeah,
up.
we're not keeping the first guy.
Yeah.
Scotty Barnes.
Part of me wants to keep this.
I
guy.
want to keep him too, but I don't know if we
He's
should.
versatile, man.
He's versatile. He's also.
He'd be like the point guard or the 3 in this case.
I don't know. Are we going role?
and I
is
mean,
Wells going role players in here.
And I mean,
don't
he's
know.
getting
But
better.
Scotty's
let's
like an
be honest.
all-star.
Yeah, he was an all-star.
He was an
Yeah.
all-star.
He's getting better.
I
Do we
feel like-
keep or?
I think we got to keep.
All right,
I
we
think
can
we
keep. We
gotta
can
keep
keep Scotty.
Yeah, we can just keep Scotty.
Oh, damn.
That's not good.
Can we talk about how good this guy's been this year?
I know he's been so impressive with Detroit.
I mean, he put a franchise that nobody has talked to relevancy.
Yeah,
I mean, think about it. If we keep Cade, we'd be bringing back.
One spot left.
yeah.
But think about it. We'd be reuniting Cade and Scotty since high school.
Ooh.
When it was 2020 Montverde, Cade and them.
Chemistry is important.
Chemistry is important. We need a. Do we want to keep him?
And they dominated high school basketball that year.
I feel like we gotta stay safe and cut him. I feel like there might be a couple more guys.
How much better do you get than Cade, though, right now? Cade's
Right.
what,
I mean,
top
he's,
5
he's
point
the
guard?
favorite. He is the favorite to be most improved player
Yeah.
this year.
If
I keep him, to be honest.
You keep
I
him?
kind of want to keep him.
I know. I think we should keep him.
Yeah, we should keep him.
Okay.
That's a strong 3.
Okay.
See, I think Cade's better than LaMelo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do
Yeah,
I.
this
Look,
year for sure.
He's been hurt. He's been hurt. I mean, also he's playing on a garbage Hornets team.
Yeah.
So like,
The thing is, I don't like LaMelo. I do think he's been balling this year, but like, there's got to be another. We can't keep.
also
not
he's
the
a
last
point
guy.
guard. You're choosing-
Yeah, we already. Yeah, you're
Yeah, we
right.
already
One
chose
spot
Cade
left.
Cunningham.
Yeah,
so
we
you
kind
cannot-
I think
of
we're
need a
cooking
big.
so far. I
yeah,
like that we're
honestly,
cutting
me too.
LaMelo.
Yeah, me too. I'm happy with it.
We went 4 for 4 so far.
All right, let's go. Oh shoot.
Jalen might have to go, man.
I mean,
This is the question.
I'm a Celtics fan, but like,
do we think that
it's
there's
about-
going to
I'm
be
just thinking
better
about
players
height. I'm
later?
just worried.
That's my worry.
That's my worry too.
We're not
I
doing-
d- I
we're just
think-
keeping the best players.
Now I think we should have chose this guy over Scotty Barnes.
Yeah, but like, I think we need to
Like,
cut
we
him
gotta
now,
stay
though.
safe. gotta
I'll
stay
be honest
safe.
with you. I'm not a big fan of this guy.
Yeah, me neither.
he's had a
but
rough year, too.
Yeah.
We gotta cut him.
Yeah, I cut him.
Just to stay safe.
Yeah.
Okay,
already
are
have a
they
point-
all
we're-
just point guards?
We already have a point guard, so we might as well just cut him as well.
Is this our last one?
No, we have. What is
more.
this?
2 more.
Yeah, two
Two
more.
more.
After
yeah,
this.
I cut him because we
Yeah.
already
I
have one
mean,
guard.
this,
we can cut Trey.
this could be like a Kelly Olynyk type player next.
Sean Kelly
I mean,
Olynyk.
hey, Alec's going to take
But I'll
him.
say he is a great facilitator and great scorer at the same time. So
Yeah.
that is one advantage he does have over Cade Cunningham.
I'd still take Cade over him.
Yeah, no, we're cutting him. Okay.
We have to put this guy.
Yeah.
We have to put
We
this
have to
guy.
keep him.
We have to
Yeah.
keep this guy.
I mean, best player on the best team in the Eastern Conference, or
Yeah.
I guess seed-wise.
Yeah, like you just can't. You just can't cut him. There's
We're
no-
going to keep him.
Scotty can play some big.
Yeah.
So we got Scotty, Cade, and Mitchell.
So who was the last?
Yeah, who
one?
did we miss out on?
Ah.
We don't need the foul merchant. We're fine.
He's gonna win MVP. We could just cut the MVP.
For what it's worth,
It's fine.
Donovan Mitchell did beat them in their one-on-one competition.
I feel like
Okay, yeah, so see?
Yeah.
He'll do it again.
we definitely made a mistake
With-
though, keeping Scotty.
Yeah,
We shouldn't have
but
kept
let's
Scotty.
be honest. We thought we were gonna get garbage.
Scotty's like
Scotty's
the biggest
still
man,
our
though.
biggest man, though.
So, yeah.
So I've Kid Cunningham, Scotty Barnes, and then also Donovan Mitchell. That's not
Yeah.
bad.
No, I like what we did. I think he's the only real one that we missed out on.
Yeah.
So,
We have a strong three.
yeah.
I like our
I
three.
like what we did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm happy with it.
Okay, to close out the show today, we're just going to talk about the play. Why is LeBron in the corner? Sorry, I got distracted. We're just going to close out. Who do we think are contenders or pretenders for this year's playoffs?
I'm gonna say a pretender, and I gotta go with the New York Knicks. Listen, I was very high on them when the season started, and when they made that trade for Karl Anthony Towns. But it has been proven that it just isn't working out, to be honest. Even though I do think that Knicks still did win that trade over the Wolves. But it's been shown this season that they haven't been superior competition. They haven't beaten the Lakers this year. They haven't beaten the Thunder. They haven't beaten the Celtics and the Cavaliers. The 76ers, for crying out loud, have more wins against that competition this season.
Let's not talk about the Sixers.
But
I'm a little
I understand they
angry
beating the
about them.
Nuggets, but I just don't see them doing any damage in the playoffs. And
Yeah, we
they're
wanna-
destined for a first round.
Yeah, we want to talk about trades that kind of backfired. The Mikal Bridges trade has not looked good for them. He's been a fine player, but trading 6 first-round picks, including swaps, for Mikal Bridges, who's more of a glue guy, that wasn't a great decision.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's the first victim to come out of that broken net system and just put up kind of fake numbers, kind of what Dennis Schroeder did. The Warriors thought they were going to get this huge backup point guard. Turns out he's just Dennis Schroeder, so it didn't really work
Yeah.
out too well.
I just like there's also so much hype around the Knicks, and I kind of see why, but last year they proved. I mean, I guess they got injured last year, but
They're one game away from the conference finals.
Yeah.
I know that, but like they didn't really live up to it last year. They're clearly not living up to it this year.
Yeah, and they should have beaten the Pacers that year, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's just I had them down as a pretender as well. So
I'll say this: if they don't do anything in the damage in the postseason, we can see some serious changes coming to this team.
100%.
Yeah, one of my pretenders, I'll name a pretender. I got the Memphis Grizzlies. They're the 5th seed in the West right now. They're in that jumble of Western Conference teams that are in that bubble. But when you're questioning what Ja can do in the playoffs, how well Ja can perform and get back to what he once was a couple seasons ago, that's not great when you're talking about a contender. Triple J has been amazing this season. All defensive caliber player is in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. But if you're questioning one of their best players performing, I don't think they can contend in the Western Conference.
And I mean, Ja's problem this year is he can't shoot the ball for the life of him. I mean, he's shooting, I think, like 32% right now. That's just not going to work for a playoff team. And that's what kind of did them so well a few years ago when they beat the Warriors in that play-in game. Super fun game, by the way, but I believe he hit a game-winning three-pointer or something like that down the stretch. So if they're not going to get that John Morant, then I think it's going to be a little hard for them to make any real noise, especially if they're in that like 5-4 seed. I believe right now they're matched up with the Lakers, and right now I take the Lakers over them for sure.
Yeah, for sure. They're very young. They're inexperienced. I just would not take them in a 7-game series.
Yeah,
you just have to choose experience all the time.
I think that I don't want to say hype around them. I really like Ja Morant and like the Grizzlies team as a whole, but I kind of agree with you. I don't think they're going to make that much of a dent in this year's playoffs. I don't think they have what it takes, even though they have been playing well, especially in a very competitive Western Conference. But I just don't think they have what it takes. Does anybody have a contender?
I got a really good contender.
We do got to be able to.
Give me that man in the bottom left corner right there, the Los Angeles Lakers. Right now, they're at the 4th seed. I think they're playing some incredible basketball right now. Obviously, LeBron's not playing. But when you have 2 of the top 3 probably playmakers on the court at the same time, you are destined for success. I think Jackson Hayes will be able to be a competitive enough center if they go against a team like the Nuggets, like the Rockets, who have a good center, Grizzlies in that first round. I mean, they have Edey and Jaren Jackson Jr. I don't think it's too far-fetched to say that Jackson Hayes can't hold his own in those types of moments. And then also, LeBron James, known playoff performer. He has never lost in the first round until a few years ago against the Nuggets. It happens. They won the finals that year, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it's looking down the stretch too. Let's just say they get past the Grizzlies in that first round. Playoffs end here. Second round, they go against the Thunder. I don't think it's ridiculous to say that they upset the Thunder just because they don't have that playoff experience yet, and they could go very far.
Yep.
Couldn't agree more with you. I mean, I'm also high on this Lakers team. I mean, you have two of the best playmakers in the league, and Luka Doncic and LeBron James. It looks like that chemistry is looking well, even though LeBron is hurt right now. And also, I can say that can we talk about the job JJ Redick is doing? He was an inexperienced coach heading into this season, and he is able to make he is able to make this roster work. And I think the sky's the limit for this team.
Yep. So today, we got some NCAA, we got some NBA talk. That's it for our basketball show today. I hope you guys have some fun watching some March Madness tomorrow during class, like all of us are. And we'll see you tomorrow night. I forget what show it is, but it'll be a good one.